Hello everyone. Yesterday we have covered about constructors and destructors in case of inheritance when we are going to have a default constructor. Today I am going to take the example of parameterized constructor in case of single inheritance. Now if you see here, I have created a class base with protected data member X, and in this class I have made a parameterized constructor which is assigning a value to X and a statement written base constructor called. Similarly, I have taken a destructor. Now in case of derived class, I have created a variable A. Now coming to the main function. Now I have one data member in base class and one data member in derived class. So if you see here, I have passed here two parameters, derived D 10, 20. Now these parameters will go to the derived class constructor. Now two parameters, 10 will come here, 20 will come here. Now it will not come inside the body of the constructor, but first it is going to assign here the value of z to the base class. Now if you see here, I have used here initializer list. I hope you remember the syntax. For the initializer list, the class constructor name and the parameter I am going to pause. Now z is transferred to base class. Now from here the value will go to the base constructor and value is assigned to X, and the other value, that is Y, is assigned to A, which is a derived class data member. So if I execute this program, see here what is the output here. Base constructor called with value 20. 20 was the second value. Derived constructor called 10, then derived destructor called and base destructor called. This is all about your parameterized constructor in case of single inheritance. Next I am going to start about your multi-level inheritance. Now what will be the order of execution in case of multi-level inheritance? Suppose I am going to have four classes A, B, C, D. Now first for A class constructor will be called, then B, then C, then D, and the destructor will be called in opposite order. Now let's take the example when I'm going to have parameters in case of multi-level inheritance. This is my first class base. Here I have taken one single parameter z. Here I am going to have another class base 1 that is derived from base class. Now class derived public base 1 which is derived from this class. Basically 3 levels I am having. Now 3 levels, 3 classes, so here I am going to pass 3 values. Now see the order of execution. 3 values I am passing here, it means 3 parameters my derived constructor will have. Now there is no direct linking between derived class and my base class. So what I am going to do is, one data member I'll keep for, one parameter I keep for derived. Other 2 I am going to pass to the intermediate class, that is base 1. Y and Z 2 parameters passed. Now if 2 parameters passed here I need 2 parameters, the definition should match. Now from here one I am going to keep here and another one I am going to pass as a parameter. Now Z here is passed as a parameter to this class. So what will be the order? Base constructor, then base 1 constructor, then derived constructor. Order of destructor opposite to it, derived, base 1, base. If I execute this program, see here, base 1, derived, base 1, base. Next I am going to discuss here is for multiple inheritance. Now in case of multiple inheritance, you have more than one base class and one derived class. So here suppose I have here class A, class B, class C, which is derived from B class and A class. Now after colon, what is the order you have written of base classes? In that order the constructor is going to call. For example, in this case, first class B constructor will be called, then class A constructor will be called, and then class C constructor will be called, and the order of destructor will be opposite. Now let's move to the example for the same. Base class first, base class second. Now class derived colon public base 1 comma public base 2. Why I have written comma in between? Because from two classes derived class has been derived. Now again three classes I have taken three values. You can take two also, no problem. You can take one value also and transfer the values accordingly. Three values I have taken, same definition should be there. Three parameters it have: x reserved for derived, y is transferred to base, comma. Now see here comma, because two different classes, base y value is transferred here, z value is copied to base 1. Now moving to the base 1, y value copied here, z value copied here. So what will be the order of execution? First base 1 is written, then base. So base 1 constructor, base constructor, derive constructor, and the order of destructor will be opposite. See here, base 1 constructor, base derived constructor. Now what if in this case I have one class as virtual? Like you see here, class A, public B, virtual C. No matter how many classes I have taken here, wherever virtual keyword is associated with the class, that class constructor will be called first. So here what will be the order of execution? Class C, class B, then A. Now let's move to the example. Suppose I write here virtual. Earlier what was the order? Base 1, base and derived. Now see the order: base, base 1 and derived, and similarly the order of destructor. That's all about your order of execution of constructor and destructors. Any doubts you can ask me in your dedicated lecture according to your timetable through LPU live app.